All right, today we're talking about market clearing price. The last few days we've been working on demand and supply, and this is the last part of the unit here for supply and demand, but it's a pretty important one. It's market clearing price. So this is going to be where kind of supply and demand end up meeting. So let's begin. So again, equilibrium price, aka the market equilibrium. This is the only price that balances or clears the market. So you'll see this is basically where the supply curve we've been working on and the demand curve we've been working on, they meet. That point, that price is the market equilibrium. It can be called equilibrium price or market clearing price, either one. And you see right here in this graph, supply curve is upward sloping to the right, demand curve is downward sloping to the right, and the market clearing price goes across there. At that price, that is where the market clears. That's where supply and demand is equal. And that's what obviously any business would want to have happen. A shortage, I'm sure most of us know what a shortage might be, but just in definition terms here, a couple different ways to write this. The first part, demand is greater than supply. Pretty simple. Quantity demanded is greater than the quantity supplied at the current price. And eventually supply will equal the demand, market clears, price won't go any higher. So let's give an example here of this that it's around Christmas time. I remember this many years ago. Let's say an Etspots comes out. And the Etspots is going to be starting off at $400. And you can't find them anywhere for Christmas. The demand is so high that they did not make enough Etspots. And they did that for a couple reasons. Because they didn't know if they're going to sell, so they make a limited amount at that point to see how they're going to sell. And then once they saw that they were going to sell well, they could make more, and then the price would start coming down as well. So again, the Etspots, when it first come out, demand was way outnumbering the supply, and there was a major shortage of Etspots. All right, so once you have shortage here, you gotta identify where it is. You can see here on this one that it is the price below the market clearing price is a shortage. And if you look at the graph there, you can see that I do this, the supply line is right here. Okay, so at this price, the company's only willing to supply that amount, but the demand is way over here, and that's because the price is low. So therefore, you have a shortage. So right there, that is going to be your shortage. A surplus, on the other hand, is when supply is greater than demand. So this quantity supplied is greater than the quantity demanded at the current price. With this, sellers begin competing more intensely with one another for consumers' money, and they're going to offer products at lower prices. Okay, so think about a sale. If they have a large number of things that they have too much, they have a surplus, they're going to put them on sale. Maybe let's think about winter coats. Come March, nobody's going to want to start buying winter coats anymore, so they're going to have too many of them. They have a surplus, so they'll start putting them on sale, and they will lower the price until consumers start buying them again. And again, we got to graph this. You can see here, this is our surplus line right here. You can see the supply at this price. The supply is way over here, and the demand is there. Okay, so maybe the coats were not, they were priced too high. They're priced way up here at this point. So therefore, people did not demand it as much. And the company that made them, North Face maybe, let's say, they made way too many of them. So eventually they're going to bring them down, hopefully to that market clearing price there. Price controls. This helps kind of legal, I guess, control the price, obviously. So a price ceiling is a legal maximum price that may be charged for a particular good or service. And a price floor is a legal minimum price below which a good or service may not be sold. And minimum wage is your example for a price floor. And again, minimum wage is raised the last few years, but it's still not very much. But again, that price floor for minimum wage is because you're not supposed to go below that point. So it's trying to help the minimum wage workers. Price ceiling, go a little bit more example on that. This might be like a government agency, like a city of West Liberty, might do this with a rent. So we're going to say that price ceiling for rent, basically that's the most the landlords could charge. Okay. Rationing, this is limiting items in short supply. A lot of times we might look at this as the black market, where you have illegally high prices are charged for items that are in short supply. A lot of times illegal goods are sold on the black market. It's otherwise known as the underground or the illegal market. A good example of kind of a black market where you have high prices being charged for items in short supply, and your book talks about this a little bit, is maybe at sporting events. You have scalpers. You have people that buy tickets and at one price, let's say the Iowa football game, they bought a ticket at $60. Then the scalper is going to try and sell them for higher. They're going to try and sell them for $80. Or if it's a big game, it's Iowa and Wisconsin, it might be $100. So they're trying to make money on those. But they're taking a pretty big risk at this as well, because if they don't sell those, then they're stuck with those. They're going to eat that cost. So it's a pretty big chance for them as well.